I do have a confession to make. So guys, for the last 2 years I've been driving the Tesla Model 3. I think I've got the long range version, which is like the middle spec. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been awesome. It drives so smooth, it's so effortless, it's really fast and really responsive. It's like driving a go-kart. It's super comfy, the electric charging is really, really fast, and to be honest, for me, I get everywhere I need to go on the miles. And if I stop somewhere on a long drive, let's say I'm driving down to Devon, which is about a 5-hour drive, we probably stop twice to charge for 15 minutes, which is just a coffee break or maybe going to the toilet. I like separating and splitting up long drives anyway. So yeah, it's been a great car. So I leased the car for 2 years and it's going back very soon. Due to the rise in prices of cars, I leased my Tesla through my business, and now to renew my car, I'd have to spend even more than I spent 2 years ago. So I don't really think it's worth it financially for me. There are tax benefits like benefit in kind, and obviously you don't pay any road tax. Electricity, even though the bills are raising, you know, it's cheaper to charge an electric car than it is at the moment to get the miles in petrol. Basically, I don't think I'll be buying or renewing a Tesla lease. The whole time I've had my Tesla, I've also kept my old car, which is a Kia Rio. I call him Kenny the Kia. It's a Rio 3 2013 plate, so it's about 9 years old now. It looks pretty good, to be fair. It does look pretty good. Space that you get in it, it's still comfy and easy to drive. So I'm gonna do some pros and cons of a budget car, in my case the Kia, and a high-end car, in my case the Tesla, and what car I would choose and why. I'm not a car filmer, I'm just gonna have a bit of fun. Let's go look at the cars. So the car's really, really smooth when it drives, and it's like so quiet you can't really hear anything. Normally, day to day, we only really drive to the gym, which is about a 5-minute drive. So I use the Tesla as much as possible for those drives, just because it's super easy. It's sort of like driving a go-kart because you've only got 2 pedals. Another thing I really like is having a sunroof, so when we look up you can just see the blue sky. As you can see, it's got a really minimalistic display. There's not much on the steering wheel, there's only like 2 buttons basically for volume and everything like that. And then everything that you need is just on this big sort of iPad on the screen. When you reverse, or even whenever you drive, you've got the 3 cameras, which are pretty useful as well. So you've got charging ports. The boot's pretty big. It's got a full glass roof. They've got this lip, so it means that the boot's not very tall. When we tried to get bikes in when we went to Denmark, couldn't get 2 road bikes in, we could only get 1. Another thing that I actually really don't like about this car is when it snows and you get snow all the way on the roof of the car. When you open the boot, and all the snow falls down into your boot. And yeah, this is the inside of the Kia. Slightly louder than the Tesla. You can hear the engine. The suspension's not as good, so the ride isn't as smooth. I got this car when I was probably about 19 or 20, I think, and it's been great. Like it's such a good car. The engine is like a 1.4 litre engine, so it's not big, but once again, you don't really need to hit top speeds on cars in the UK because we have speed limits. Good thing about having an older car, you don't have to keep it as pristine. So I'm leasing the other car, whereas I own this car. This is my car. When you lease a car, when you have to return it, you have to make sure it's absolutely immaculate. You know, no little scratches, no dents, no bumps. Even things like staining and discoloring of the steering wheel's got to be managed. Whereas if you've got a slightly older car that's just yours, you're not as bothered about all those things, and it's kind of nice not to stress over those things if you've got a lot of other things in your life to stress over. The main job of a car is just A to B, and once you're sat inside a car, like, these seats are comfy. Like, it's a really comfy car to drive just because it's not as new or flashy as a Tesla doesn't mean it's not a nice car. And when you're inside, you can't see the outside. None of that even matters. So it does the same job as a Tesla. It drives and it's very comfy as well. A perk as well to having a petrol car as opposed to an electric car is probably the mileage. The Tesla, we can probably get maximum of about 250 to 280 miles in it. You can get at least 300, probably about 400 miles, true miles of driving with this car. Filling up at a petrol station is definitely quicker than charging an electric car. One perk about charging an electric car, however, is you can do it from home, so you can charge it overnight. But if you're out and about and you drive a lot, I still don't think it's super useful. My foot flat down on the accelerator, nothing much really happens. Property as well, I manage properties. I'm a property investor and a landlord, so when I'm doing repairs on my properties or maybe upgrading the bathroom, for example, you know, putting cleaning tools and everything like that in the back, or even things like a fridge, is so much easier. Boot space in the Kia is way better than the Tesla because there's just two of us. We can put the back seats down and then we've got so much boot space. Look at that messy but large boot space. So yeah, there's both cars, and to be honest, I genuinely really enjoy driving the Kia as well as the Tesla. The fact that the Kia is a manual car with a gear stick just kind of makes things a bit more fun as well. Driving the Tesla can be great, but then it can also be so easy and so smooth that it feels like you're not even driving. It just feels like you're hovering, which can be great, but then also at the same time, sometimes you don't appreciate it enough. I'll be honest, it's been really fun for 2 years to have like a brand new car, sporty car. I do like Teslas. I love the innovation of them. I love the design. I'd love to get another Tesla in the future, but at the moment, the way the prices are going with everything, I think it's not the best thing for me to do. For me, if I had to choose between the budget car and the higher end car, I think I would go for the budget car now, as I've had a higher end car. Having said that though, something like the Kia, which is really low end on the budget side, it's a petrol car, and petrol is so expensive at the moment that I wouldn't really want a petrol car either. So I think moving forward, if I was to get a new car, the new car would probably be an electric car. If you could get a budget electric car that was cheap, like cheap mileage wise as well as the actual price, I think I'd just go for a budget electric car. I hope it's better for the environment as well, but I've heard, you know, there's downsides to electricity as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a little review, basically, talking about the two cars, just giving my little opinions on it. I'm not a car expert. It's just sort of me comparing the two cars that I've got and what I'm gonna do moving forwards. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. If you've got any more video ideas, drop them down in the comments below. Let me know what car you drive. I don't care what it is because I've got an old Kia. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Still,